We are live at Hooters, hanging out, enjoying some real American beers. This is normally when I would introduce the general manager, the head coach, the man who does all the work, Damon Ware. But instead, the guy who does next to nothing, Thomas Underwear.
No, that's not. Wait a second. That's.
You know this is Coach's show. We can't do it without him. Joining us right now from a secure location deep inside MVP Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, Damon Ware, everyone.
Yeah.
Coach, they can hear you. Don't say what you wanted to say about Coach Ray.
Little Mitty is he's a heck of a guy.
I came up with a new nickname for him, Coach. Coach Ray's new nickname is TMB. Too many birthdays.
Ouch.
We're live here at Hooters. Obviously, we have a gigantic game to get ready for. The first ever Firebirds in the AF1. So you are back at the arena, you know, doing what you do. The professor doesn't stop studying. So if you wouldn't mind, let the fine folks here at Hooters know just kind of what you're up to today with this close to a kickoff, the very first kickoff for us in the history of AF1.
Yeah, it's all just making sure the game plan is correct. You know, just kind of how a game plan week works is we go through a combination of things, very detailed things to lead up to tomorrow, which is our final walkthrough. So we go through just about every single scenario throughout the week. Tomorrow we'll just have a walkthrough, and then ultimately we're ready for the game. So for me, it's obviously just going over all the notes, going over all the films. It's finding those elements that we feel that we can be successful with, obviously, on Friday night. And then just fine tuning it. So, you know, it's a busy process, at least for me. Maybe some people don't game plan the way I do, but for me, it's a lot of analytics. I've got to memorize. So it's a long process. And so it usually takes me all the way up until Thursday for a Saturday game. And so it's Wednesday. I've got to get, a little quicker pace, obviously, on the game plan. So Thursday I can take a little bit of the afternoon off and just relax and rest and try to get a little sleep, or at least just lay down, because I am burning at both ends. But ultimately today, that's what I'm at the office doing. I mean, you can see the stack of my notes. So I'm going through all of the details, and this is just my favorite time, is getting ready for a game. I'm always nervous in the first games. I don't care how good I feel that we're going to do. I just, first games are just about execution, and it's just something you haven't done at a high rate of speed. It's, no matter how much you do it in practice, it's usually only about 70% speed. So again, when you get in the game, it's 100% speed, and people don't like you, and there's a lot of emotions going on. And so I'm always a little bit nervous. And so I'll overkill it leading up until Friday night. But ultimately, the guys will have a great game plan. They'll be ready to go. And we look forward to hosting the Storm.
Coach, just so you know, as soon as you started talking, half the defense left. They just ran right out the door.
Jeez.
So, Coach, Southwest Kansas Storm, they're 2-0. They played 2 games. We haven't played one yet. Who has the advantage in that situation? You from the film, or them because they've had a chance to play?
There's definitely advantages on both sides. When you've played 2 games, you've got to get through some execution errors. You've got to fix a couple things. But we got 2 games of film on you, so there's a lot for us to get prepared as far as personnel wise and in certain schemes that they run. And I think that's a huge advantage for us. For them, like I said, it's an execution thing. They've got to actually, kind of iron out a couple kinks for 2 weeks. I mean, that's a pretty good head start. And I, told our guys it's kind of like running the 100-yard dash, but letting them start, 20 yards in front of you, and you got to catch them. And so there's definitely advantages on both sides, but not having any film on us and our personnel and those kind of things, it's a challenge, obviously, for their for their staff to try to figure out what we're going to do offensively and defensively, and even in the special teams game. So there's huge advantages on both sides, but we're going to be ready to go. Super excited to be at home in the Capital Region and let the first time that we play be in front of our home fans.
Coach, you mentioned how you game plan for a game. It's a little different than other coaches. Some coaches, that's been talked about, Maybe it's the first drive that's scripted, maybe the first half. Some coaches have an idea of maybe how the whole game might go, but with so many variables and so much field position changing, that could always be different. For you, is it 4 plays? Is it 8? Is how deep?
Did you just ask Coach about foreplay?
No, 4 plays.
He's a serious man, guys.
How deep
Sorry,
can you
Coach.
go and play for the game? How scripted when you have your now you got me distracted. How many plays do you have scripted for that first quarter?
When I was a young coach, I used to script, the first couple drives and those kind of things. I don't do that anymore. I kind of let the game kind of dictate itself. So I'll have a first play, and it'll kind of come to me by the time I walk onto the field before the game. And there's always about 3 or 4 plays that are kind of in my head as what's that first play that, kind of gets us going. And I'm a tempo guy. And so for me, it's that first play really starts the tempo. And so if we're able to have a great play, no matter what, if it's a rushing play or a passing play, that really kind of starts our tempo. And so, I've got about 3 or 4 plays, in mind, and it'll come to me right before the game. I'll decide which one of those plays is it, and we'll go from there.
Coach Damon Ware with us. He's vibing in from the arena, hard at work, getting ready for game 1. The thought of you relaxing, I don't know that I've seen that out, maybe like twice in August. I've seen that. Do you just turn off everything and just kind of shut it down for an hour or two? Like, how do you relax on the day before game?
Rest for me is just if I can just lay down, if I can get on the couch with my dog or get in the bed and just get off my feet and just try to decompress a little bit. I can never really turn off the phone. When you're in leadership, you just never know what's coming. And so I can never really fully relax because there's always things going on, things people need, questions people have, those kind of things. And, so you could never totally decompress. But for me, it's just get a couple hours where I just get off of my feet. I completely relax myself and, just kind of mentally just kind of shut everything down just for a little bit and ultimately get ready for Friday.
You have a unique roster here. You've got veterans of the league. You've got younger guys. You've got a mix of guys, great attitudes, great personalities. But it's always that first game, kickoff to a season, that some of these guys who haven't done this before might need that extra boost, that extra talk of how important this is for their professional career. Have you talked to some of your younger guys on the team of how important game 1 is and how this is different than other levels of football they've competed in the past?
Yeah, it's something that you have to kind of lead up to. But for young guys, it's just playing ball. And the biggest message to them is do what got you here. There's a reason that I recruited you. And so do those things. Don't try to play bigger or smaller. Do the job that you're supposed to do. And so you don't have to do anything extra. We really preach that around here is there's 8 guys that have a job, and you just got to trust all 8 of those guys to do their job. Just focus on your job. And so today we went, had a very, very detailed practice just to get, the final thoughts together. But, for us, it's, again, I use the word cerebral. It's just the best word that I can come up with, really, that what we have to be and why that we've been able to be successful is to have a lot of knowledge and a lot of things and know certain things as we leave the line of scrimmage every single play. And so today was a real detail-oriented time and just, going through each individual play and making sure that we're just totally on point with all kinds of elements of offensive football and defensive football. So, the young guys don't have to do anything different. Of course, they're going to be nervous. They probably won't sleep well and all those things. But, I won't sleep well either. But, you get to the game and everybody like, are you ready, coach? It's like, what do you want me to say? No, I'm not ready. I'm going to call a horrible game tonight. This is what I've done for a long time. I love calling games. It's just something that, I've built over a long career of doing it. And so I'm always ready to go. I'm excited, again, and I'm just happy to get this team on the field. It's, having an extra week it's not really helpful because, again, you're constantly going against the same guys. It gets chippy. You're ready to hit against somebody else. And so we're just happy that we're finally able to do that Friday night against Southwest Kansas.
We are live here at Hooters for Flock University. Coach Ware back in the office, buttoning up the final details, getting us ready for a Friday game. This week in Arena Ball, I'm going to read it the way he wrote it. How will you guys prepare for a team with 12 turnovers in 2 games?
Well, all we're going to do is hope that we can get that many turnovers in our game. But but no, like I said, we've really, went through the gamut. Just coaching staff is just getting them on point with all the little details, making sure we've got a great game plan and three phases of the game. And again, we're just going to let the game take care of itself. Hopefully, we're able to make some things happen. Obviously, both sides of the ball and then special teams. And right now, all I care about is that we come out, we execute good football, and that's the most important part right now.
By the way, Dan, the GM over here, said you sound great. He said you would sound better if you were here. They miss you. They wish you had the time to be here tonight. I told him if the game was on a Saturday, you would be. Friday, Wednesday is not the day for you to step away from the desk.
Yeah, that is true. Definitely tell Dan I said hello. They're great hosts of the football team. Absolutely, appreciate everything he's done for us for many years. So I'll, again, when time permits, I'll get out there and shake his hand one more time.
Absolutely. Coach, so the adoptive player program is underway. A lot of the guys came and they got their adoptive player bags. If you hit that camera, Denise, I swear to all that's holy.
Careful.
Denise, don't hit the camera. I get to yell at people as well. No, Zeke, you can come over here if you want to get involved. Zeke Rose is here, Coach.
Sorry, man.
Slide over a little bit.
He looks a lot smaller in pictures, by the way. Now that he's here, there's Zeke. Shout out to him. There's a lot of man in this photo right now. It's a lot of beef right there.
Coach.
Boy, get close to Levac now.
No, I don't like that. Hey, Coach, what about Zeke? I mean, Zeke Rose is a guy that some of our fan base was well aware of before we were. I know we talked about him before, but he ain't shy.
No, but he's a great young man. Like I said, people don't know the inner workings of just what it takes to be at this level. But here's a young man that in our group that we have every morning leads our day off with a prayer and just an impressive young man. So he's a lead by example. Just do all the little things, and that's why we voted him as a captain. So he'll help lead the young guys out there on the field and be that driving force and that calming storm when we need him. And, but no, he's, like we said last year, he was the best defensive lineman that we faced last year. And I knew just from talking to him a little bit in the pre-games and shaking his hand and just how respectful he was and coming and doing those things, even when their coach didn't shake hands. But anyway, that's for another conversation. But just a great young man, and I knew at the end of the season, as soon as free agency opened up, he was definitely one of the top three players I was going to call. We started talking, Cisse and him started talking, and we built a great relationship very quickly, and ultimately we got him here to the Capital Region. And so our fans are going to love him. He's such a nice guy, but he's a fierce guy. Once the pads come on and those lights come on Friday night, you're going to see a fierce guy, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in a Firebirds jersey.
Coach, we were talking on the radio side earlier today about this is, for us, Levac and I, our final broadcast. On the radio side, we're bumped by the NCAA tournament. We said, hey, for Capital Region sports fans in 2025, when they watch AF1 football this Friday night, there might be things that are a little different from other leagues and situations, but there's stuff to get excited about and stuff to follow for this team. I think a message for the sports fans who are coming out to watch this on Friday is, what are we going to see involved in this Firebird team that maybe in comparison to past leagues and past rules that they haven't seen in the past?
Again, this has been the mecca of arena football. So, they're going to see the same brand of football that they're used to seeing, seeing the kicks going off the nets and seeing, only one guy in high motion. So it is true arena football. Obviously, we're in Arena Football 1, and that's the new brand that we're in. But they're going to see a lot of things that are very similar. But for us, it's just the type of players that we bring in. I mean, that's the most exciting part is you can come watch a game. At the end of the game, again, we have all of our players on the field signing autographs right after the game. So you can really come out and get to know these guys, on a level that you just can't get to know guys in the NFL. And so for us, I say it all the time. It's we can't do this without the community. We need all hands on deck. And so this is a very expensive sport. We need people in the stands to come and watch it. So we need you to buy tickets, bring your friends that have never come to a game. We'll guarantee you that if they come to a game, that they'll come back. And so you're going to see a lot of scoring, a lot of actions, bodies flying over the wall, all kinds of things, balls popping off of nets. You're just going to see a brand of football that you've never seen. And so for the casual fan that's never seen a game, come on out. It's really a lot of crazy action. And, you'll fall in love with it like the rest of us.
Coach Ware, Indie Rage Radio asked a question. I like it. The wide receiver core is stacked this year. Coach, which player do you see having a breakout season this year with Nova back under center?
You know, having Casanova back is just huge. It's we had a great season together, kind of in his swan song in 22, and that culminated in a championship. And obviously, the year that we won't mention happened, and he was able to go on, but continue to have some success, and then ultimately went to the other league last year and put up some huge numbers. And so it's rare that you really can get back guys that have moved on to other leagues or those kind of things. And so getting him back was a priority. He's a New York guy. He's a great guy, another man of faith and with a great, family structure and those kind of things. For him, he's just going to throw the ball to the open guy. And so when we're talking about the receiving core, we've had some alphas here over the years. And they were the focal points of the offense. And again, those teams were very, very good. Obviously, when you have the alpha and you got a guy that can make plays on any given, snap. This year, again, we built the team as more of a overall structure. And so we really built our culture a little differently this year. We want great players all over the field, and we want all of them to work together at a high level. And so I think this group, our top four that'll ultimately play in the game, those four all work well together. They hold each other accountable. Darian Townsend is the leader in the room. He's the elder statesman, and he's going to, again, I don't think there's anybody more special with the ball in their hands than DT. And so, but collectively as a group, it's a bunch of guys that have a bunch of skill. There's, again, we have four starters. And so those four guys are going to rotate throughout the game. And they're all just doing a tremendous job. And Casanova just has to throw the ball to the open guy. And so in the course of training camp and the course leading up, obviously, to the game, it's just been a real special thing to get these guys together, get guys that really like each other, that really want to hold each other accountable, that really like working together. And so I'm super excited to see this team on the field. They're working hard together as a group, and it's just been a phenomenal thing. I really think our offense is going to do some magical things this year, and having Sam back is just the start of it. But our whole crew is great. Isaiah Scott, Markel Wade, Darian Townsend, and Dwayne Brown. These are the four that'll play in the game Friday night, and they're just a phenomenal group that have big sets of skills. I mean, they're all a little bit different. They all bring a little something different to the table, but they're all very hungry football players. They all want to win, and they all want to score. And it's going to be a fun time having those guys on the field Friday night.
Coach, I'm glad you said Wade's name because Mike is here messing with Elisa's. He started the thing with, is it true Wade got cut? And since then I've seen comments asking if that's real. So I'm glad you said his name so I could actually just say, no, he's here. I actually saw him this morning. Looks awesome.
Little Lisa probably burned the place down right now if he actually thought that was true. Little Lisa, not yet. We still got him.
It's weird. You're not here, and Nani hasn't said hi. I don't feel like it's even a Flock University.
Oh, that's weird. I know she has to be watching. I'm sure. So, Nani, you better talk to your fan club.
Yeah, they miss you, especially the Lisas. They're all really nodding, tears in their eyes. This week in Arena Ball, basically, do you worry about being on national television? Do you have to treat it any differently?
No, it's still football. It doesn't matter who's behind the cameras. I mean, football's football. Getting yourself prepared to play and having a good game plan is all that matters. I don't care what the guy's name is behind the camera, what logo he has on his polo shirt. At the end of the day, the show is the game on the field, and so we'll be ready to go. We're super excited, and this will be our first game, so we're coming out swinging.
Let me rephrase that, Coach. Would you be under more pressure if I was calling the game? That's what I think Arena Ball was,
Yes, I'd really be worried for our viability if you were calling the plays. But thankfully for me, you are up in the booth and you do a great job calling the game. So I appreciate you.
Right,
he needed that. That's all he needed.
That's all I needed. The ego boost, and that's all.
He's going to leave now.
I think the show's over. That's what I needed here.
Coach Underwear appreciates the support. We're live here at Hooters, and Coach, the downside of you not being here now is, besides the fact that obviously I love hanging out with you, you don't get to sample one of these Hulk Hogan Real American beers. You're
No,
left.
you're gonna have to bring me one because I definitely want to see Hulk Hogan. I grew up in that era, so seeing him on the cartoons every Saturday morning. So just the fact that he's still around and kicking and still promoting is pretty cool. Makes me feel a little bit younger, but no, I'm very interested to see how that beer tastes, and hopefully it's a good one.
Just you would hate it. I should probably just take all of them. We should just put them. It's definitely no, they're good. You're gonna love them, Coach. There's always whenever our sponsor like Real American Beer drops stuff off, I take 2 stops. I make sure my fridge is good. I make sure Coach's fridge is good, and then I go drink. So I got you,
and that's
Coach.
a true story.
When you got a guy who works as hard as Coach, you do what it takes to keep him happy. That's all that matters. I work like if you started working hard, guys, like I would do the same.
Well, no, those are celebratory beers. You keep those for a victory on Friday night. Crack those open. Go full Stone Cold Nixon Hulk Hogan after a big win on Friday night.
Hey, Coach, just Lou, our guy over at Cagino's, just hit us up. He had to go into the hospital again. It looks like he's getting out of there tomorrow, which means he'll be at the game. Lou, we love you. Relax a little bit. Make sure you're at the game. We need you there.
Absolutely. It's and I know, Lou, I understand if you could clone yourself, life would be great. I feel the same way. But if you keep going to the hospital, take some time for yourself, relax. I know you've got somebody that could manage the store for you. Take that time to rest and recuperate. We'll see you at the game. And let's go Firebirds.
I love it. All right, one more. I just see this question. I'm going to ask it the right way because I don't like the way it was asked. Do we have enough pass protection for Sam? They were kind of saying that like we didn't have enough last year. Sam's a different kind of quarterback, but I saw our offensive line. I saw Isaiah Hardy. That is one of the largest human beings I've ever seen in my life, and he is in the best shape I have ever seen him in.
Yeah, 1,000%. He's came in great shape, and it's obviously he's the catalyst, and we all have a great relationship. His relationship with Sam is special, and so he's doing a phenomenal job. But I'm not sure how anybody didn't think we had enough pass protection last year. I mean, we had 2 outstanding linemen. We did kind of go back and forth with obviously who that third person was, but obviously Sean Brown is in the UFL. They're practicing. He called me a little bit earlier, just got off the practice field. They make their final cuts by Friday. So wishing him the best, obviously, to maintain his spot in the UFL. And then Sean Lockett, obviously, that we hope returns to us dealing with some personal issues, and hopefully those get cleared up and he's able to come back as well. But we have an outstanding line. It's always special when the younger guys can beat out the older guys. It's usually something that doesn't really happen, but all of our young guys were just phenomenal in training camp, and our older guys just didn't rise to the challenge. And so for me, it's you can go by yesteryears. I'm just not the type to do that. Again, one of the lines I use and players know very well, and the coaches, is facts over opinions. And so facts are what I see on the film every day. And so if the fact is there's younger guys outplaying the older guys, the fact is those guys need to stay. And so our young guys are doing a phenomenal job. I can't wait to see them. They're in great shape. They work well together. Again, we've got 4 great linemen. They're all, 4 starters at that position too, and we'll rotate some guys in. And so again, I'm just looking forward. There's so many good storylines going into this game. I'm super excited. The defensive box just has been phenomenal. Our practices have been just all out wars with the O line and running backs going against our D line and linebackers. That's been a war. Our secondary against our receiving core has been an outright war. It has been a tough camp, and we've had to tone some intensity back a little bit here and there because it's just been an all-out war. And so going against somebody else and getting to unleash hell on those guys is just going to be super exciting, and that's what's going to happen on Friday night.
All right, Coach. Listen, I hate to do this to you, but I think it's time for me to enjoy a couple of these Real American beers. You do the work there. I'll hold it down over here at Hooters.
You hold it down there, but make sure you bring me some of that.
Guys, it's right over the MVP arena. You just run some over real quick, Debbie.
Best of luck to you and the team, Coach, on Friday.
You know I got you.
I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, hey, community, come on out, support us. We need you. There's no better, ticket here in the capital region than the Firebirds to see an exciting game. And if last year, if you didn't think those were the best set of games, maybe in the history of the sport, you might be you might need to get your eyes checked. But get your eyes checked, and then come Friday night and let's go Birds.
Our on-field host, real quick, just chimed in. Hey, Levac, thanks for letting me test drive the Corvette. Back nine, you are not allowed near the Corvette. As a matter of fact, as coach, as you mentioned, it's very rare that youth beats out experience. I am coming back out to give away the Corvette. I'm going to be on field for that one. So,
what a great car that is, and again, whoever gets that opportunity, I hope they're working hard. I hope they're doing it the Albany way. They're out there busting their butt and focusing on how to kick and getting some instruction, because boy, would that be one heck of a car to drive home in a contest. That thing's gorgeous.
Just real quick, everybody chime in. I said you go back to work and you can't. The Clock Tower Hotel at Century House, you can bring some of those wings and beer back to the hotel. You know what? Let's make it happen. I feel like it's a great idea. And now Nick Bernard wants to kick. He just wants to be on the team. He doesn't even want the car. Coach, I'm telling you right now that there's gonna be a point where you're gonna have to keep Nick, game day Nick, away from Henry, our kicker. Like there's gonna be a point where he's gonna start dressing like him. He's gonna start trying to speak with a South African accent. It's gonna be a problem.
Our kicker's phenomenal. He is just such a professional. And,
wait a minute. He told me today that he is he should be a captain. That he won a bet with you on the golf course. He's the special teams captain.
I will definitely say he did say we played golf and had a great time. It was opening day of golf and got out there. And so there was a particular hole. He said, hey, coach, if I birdie this hole, can I be a special teams captain? Now, the funniest part of this story is I was way somewhere else, and all I seen was two guys throw their hands up, and I'm not sure if they were trying to hustle me on that one or not. I'd really need the replay of that. I didn't even come close to seeing what happened, but I was told it happened. So, that's one of those tougher ones. But Henry Nell's just a phenomenal professional. He's a leader no matter what his captain status is. But just out of all the kickers that I interviewed this offseason, he had the most incredible plan for what he needed to do to be a championship kicker. And so it was a special thing. And if that's Castronova, he's one of the ones throwing his arms up. And I did not see this play. But I'll let him tell the story. Go ahead, Sam.
There may have been slight coercion with my putter and Henry's ball to help it guide its way.
See, I knew it.
But nobody deserves it more than Mr. Nell because he works his butt off. So we definitely had to sell you on that and maybe fake a slight celebration, but it was a great shot nonetheless.
Like I said, I kind of had that feeling, but yeah, that's why I said I needed the replay.
Well, Coach, man, we appreciate you. Get back to work. We need this win.
Absolutely, that's the outright plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, your head coach, general manager, Damon Ware. Love you, Coach. I'll see you later.
All righty, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. There he goes, Damon Ware. All right, so since Sam's here, your quarterback, one of your team captains, Sam Castronova.
Oh, no.
The oldest coach in the history of sports, TMB. Too many birthdays.
Sweet Baby Ray, as I like to call him. You like that nickname?
I do like it, but I like calling him too many birthdays better.
Oh, okay.
He's the only person we can
Sweet
find
Baby
with the same haircut as Damon Ware to fill in today. Tom Goss, a.k.a. Coach Underwear.
I've already been introduced. No, I am.
How about a round of applause for the greatest players? It's great. I cannot wait to see these guys dominate the field on Friday. Your Albany Firebirds. The greatest support system that I've ever seen. The flock support. You guys,
Big
awesome.
hand. Very big hand.
Do you know what happens when I say my name? I'm your team president, Jeff Levac.
What are you
know Sam was going to agree.
I got to support that.
All right, everybody, enjoy a real American beer. Thanks to our good friend Hulk Hogan. Thanks to the AF1. Sam, get ready to kick some butt on Friday, man. We love you, brother.
Know.
Welcome home. It's good to have you. Benny Ice, everybody.
Yeah.
See you over there.
Ben Nelson, look at him.
Thank God you have to ride bumper cars here. You're not tall enough. All right, everybody, you can't end a single episode of this show without those two simple words. 1, 2, 3. Flock you. It just won't end.